I wish someone could explain to me on the way we used our bowlers in the women game. It is absolutely baffling to me. I assume that most of you here have played cricket, and there is no time that I can recall of you not wanting your best fast bowler to bowl up front. West Indies' best fast bowler in this match, Halia Lane, bowled the 26th over. That was her first over in the match when one batswoman was on 95 and the other opener was on 66. And you are giving your best seamer the ball in the 26th over for the first time. Why do you need to bowl your three worst bowlers up front? Isn't that handing over the opportunity to the opposition? Isn't that a defensive way to play? Aren't you more likely to get wickets up front if you start with your best bowlers and then the part-timers or the second string bowlers will have it much more easier bowling to the oppositions when they are 4 or 5 wicket down for 80, so to speak? Isn't it more difficult for your top line bowlers to come on and bowl when the batsmen are already set? Are you asking your premier fast bowler, Alia Lane, to bowl 20 of the last 25 overs? Because what will happen if they take her out? By the time she come back, the innings will almost be finished. So you want your premier fast bowler to be bowling up front, the first or second over of the match. And so if she have a bad 3 or 4 over spell up front, you know that you can still bring her back twice before the innings finish. And we have seen time and time again with this women team that the tactics is wrong. It is so wrong. And many of you would have heard I saying in the past that the decision making of Shane Diaz left a lot to be desired. We all agree that Ailey Matthews is not a good captain. But there's no one else can captain the West Indies women team when Ailey Matthews is on the field. So once she's on the field, we have to accept it, that she's going to be the captain. What she wants is a coach or a coaching staff behind her to guide her, to allow her to improve. But clearly, this coaching staff, in my opinion, I have had enough of them. You know that I had enough of them for a long time. But now I am absolutely had enough of them. You know that in measuring temperature, you have 0 and you have absolute 0. You know that from science class in school. You have 0 and absolute 0. Well, I'm absolutely now have no confidence in this coaching staff to take West Indies cricket forward. And we must get rid of Shane Diaz and his support staff before they sink West Indies cricket further, women cricket. Because this team is regressing and the tactics are laughable at best. Absolutely laughable. As here we are in the 30th over with South Africa 199 for 1. 199 for 1. And your premier fast bowler has only bowled 1 over in the match thus far. And because that 1 over went for 9 runs, you took her off. But up front, Jazara Claxton bowled over that went for 15 or something like that. You never took her off. You never take her off. You allow her to continue for 4 overs and she ended up bowling 4 overs for 30-something runs. Why? To prove a point. It is to prove a point. But that's okay. We support West Indies cricket. We don't necessarily support you. We support West Indies cricket. We hope you do well because you are representing West Indies. You are representing us. South Africa are 200 for 1 after 30 overs. Hello everyone and welcome to the #1 cricket channel in the Caribbean. As Afle Fletcher bowls to Wolverhampton and she cleans her up. So Fletcher got another wicket there. So thankfully, both batsmen never made a century. Brits made, I think, 101, and Wolver, now, the captain, she's gone for 75. I am extremely sad. And maybe it's my sadness why I started that way. I'm not sad because the team is under the coach, because you don't know if they are losing as yet. You can't know if we are going to lose until we bat. The captain may just come up with a spanking double century. We may get something special from Quiana Joseph, Chanel Henry. Don't think Stephanie Taylor will bat. It appears that I think she jumped for a ball at backward point and fell on her shoulder, and she has to leave the field. But we may just get something special from those three. Alia Lane and Sherman Camber may chip in, and whatsoever South Africa make, we might surpass it. You know, but I'm sad because of the tactics. I'm asking you, you tell me in the chat, if you are batting to this West Indies women team, if you are walking out to bat and you see Janela Glasgow and Zayda James with the new ball, compare to seeing Alia Lane and Ailey Matthews with the new ball, or Alia Lane and Charisma Ramarak. You know, which pair would you prefer to face? Zayda James and Glasgow or Alain and Matthews, if you are walking out as an opening bat? And initially, I was only putting forward this as a theory, as something that is only the right thing to do. I was putting this forward. But now it is shown. Glasgow, Claxton, James, except for those 2 wickets when Wyatt just can't back James and James got her. That was probably about 8 matches ago. West Indies are giving up their first 10 overs to the opposition without have a wicket-taking bowler on. No wicket-taking bowler. Giving up our first 10 overs to the opposition. As a result, the opening batsmen are well set. So even when our better bowlers comes on, the Matthews, the Fletcher, the Ramarak, and the Alleyne, the batsmen are already well set. I just do not understand it. I can't understand the tactics, and this is why I can't rate Shane Diaz. I can't. 200 for 2 after 30.1 overs. We have 2 new batsmen at the crease now, fairly new. Shan Gaze, she's a 9 from 14, and Lou just come to the crease. Fletcher is in the attack. Let's see if she's going to go to herself, Ramarak, or Lane from the other end. Or she's going to bring on one of the part-timers. Because with 2 fairly new batsmen, one absolutely new, and one had only faced 14 deliveries, you need your best bowlers to be bowling now to see if you can get some wickets. There's a slip in place, which is good. That means she's looking wicket. We wish that she were looking wicket up front when the innings started. Fletcher to Lou, who played it down the hand side of the pitch, no run. The score remains at 200 for 2. 200 for 2. And you may say, Mr. Brown, our team is weak. I said that all the while. We lack quality. That's a non-argument. I'm not talking about the weakness of the team. We have quality bowlers who can bowl up front. This has nothing to do with our batting. Nothing, because a person's coming to me and saying, Mr. Brown, the team is weak. You are saying the team is weak because you want to justify the poor decision of the coach and the captain. That's the only reason why you are saying it. And you are saying it because probably you are not following West Indies women cricket to know that in Affle Fletcher, as Fletcher picks up another wicket, so Shan Gaze gone bowled again by Affle Fletcher. This is her final over, 3 for 53 from 9.5. And Affle Fletcher, I think that make it about 40 wickets that Affle Fletcher have gotten in the last year. I think that Affle Fletcher is very likely have gotten more wickets in women cricket than any other bowler for the last year. So we have quality bowling. Would you say it's world class? Our bowling, is it world class? It's very close to be one of the top bowling attack in cricket. Why they look so ordinary? Because we continue to make the wrong decisions and they are coming on to bowl when the opposition batsmen are set, because we are using 2 of our weaker bowlers to always start. In some instance like today, our weaker bowlers bowl the first 8 overs. That cannot continue. We need to be better. We need to be better than that. I bowl the first 5 because I think Ailey Matthews bowled over number 6. But of the first 10 overs, 8 of them were bowled by our weaker bowlers. And we have to get rid of that if we're going to move forward. Good morning, the champion. Some of the most basic common sense decisions in cricket, said the champion. Absolutely. You start with your best seamer. We all do that. If you put some look at 10-year-olds together to play a match, everybody in that team know that they're going to start. Well, in their case, they are probably going to start with their quickest bowler, but they are starting with their quickest bowler because they themselves don't want to face the quickest bowler from their position. Not that they don't want to face him, but they prefer to face a slower bowler, So Ramarak comes in, bowls to Lou, so it was Shan Gaze that was dismissed. And so she played it to mid-off and there is no run. So it's basic decision. Roddy Clay said, Mr. Brown, you have been preaching this over and over. Come on, man. I think, Roddy Clay is the same one who said something the other day, and I asked him, I think he was the same one that said something about Stephanie Taylor, and I'm asking, so he always come here, that, you know, is so Roddy Clay, if you don't want to hear my preaching, you can go somewhere else. Because I'm not going to stop preaching it until I get the change that I want. Because I know that the change that I seek is the right thing. So, Roddy Clay, if you don't want to hear my preaching, with all due respect, my brother, you don't have to listen to it. Good day, Sheldon Smith. Happy to have you here. Is Matthews not capable of making independent decision on the field, said Banana Brooks, asked Banana Brooks. She must watch our faces, the girls in the nets. Surely she has some noose. So as that one from Ramarak is played to mid-on and there is no run, 204 for 3. Ramarak comes in, bowls to Lou. Lou is forward and played it back to Ramarak down the half side of the pitch, and there is no run. So are we behind in our run rate? Or Ramarak is somebody who tend to run back to her mark, you know. So it doesn't necessarily mean that we are behind in our run rate. That's her. I think she bowled better when she's at the batswoman, as that is swept away, and they go through for another single. End of over. 7 overs for Ramarak, none for 33. Yeah. Well, it looks like we are behind because everybody now is moving fast. But Ramarak, even when Ramarak is running back to her mark, you wouldn't know because she's someone who, I think that's her attitude. And I as I said in a Banana Brooks, what we want is for someone to work with Ailey Matthews because she has to be the captain of this team. Once she's on the field, there's no one else can captain the team. Ailey has to be. Because she's just so far ahead of everybody in her game that she has to be the leader. I personally couldn't be out there if I have Ailey standing and allow someone else to captain me. What we really want is someone to work with her and guide her. You know? Yes. Michael Douglas said also justice for Griman. That's another very interesting one, Michael Douglas. When I saw it, it came to my mind, and I'm not picking on anyone here now. She failed what? In 2 matches? After half century. How many matches did Mangru get? How many matches did Cherry and Fraser got? How many matches Zadia James got and is still getting? And because Griman failed in 2 matches, she was dropped. I don't understand the decision. I absolutely don't understand the decisions. When I look at Griman, here's Matthews. Short off the back foot, steer to backward point, and there is no run. When I look at Griman, she's right up there in the top 5 West Indies batswomen right now. When you look at her movement, when you look and see how quick she pick up the ball and so on. However, there are some technical things to work out. And I'm saying that we are not seeing her evolving and working out those technical things. And I'm not here saying that she should be dropped. But if you have a high-profile coach, which Diaz claimed to be, well, it's a high-profile job. Of course, you are coaching the West Indies team. That's a high-profile job. Matthews bowls to Lou, and Lou played it back to Matthews, and she's out. 207 for 3. She just popped it back to Matthews, and she's out. 207 for 4, sorry. So that's the 4th wicket. So West Indies is storming back here. So Lou is gone. So that's the 4th wicket there as Matthews took the ball and caught. And you know that these things only bring out my point more, because rain is coming down and the covers are off. On. These things only brought out my point more now. Here is it that the incoming South African batsmen are struggling to get rid of our better bowlers. They are struggling. But the two openers, because they were set before our better bowlers came on, they were able to play our better bowlers with comfort because they were already set by facing our lesser bowlers. It is very likely, very, very likely, that if we had started with our better bowlers, the openers would be in the same position as these new batsmen who are coming to the crease. And that's why you start with your better bowlers. You do not go in the match for the long game. You always go into the match to finish it as quickly as possible. So you start with your better bowlers and try to knock over the opposition. Now the oppositions are not robots and they are not sitting there for you to knock them over. So there are some times when you will knock them over. There are other times when you will not knock them over. So be it for those times. Then you find a way and you play the long game, and somewhere along the line, you have to integrate your lesser bowlers. But for heaven's sake, man, your best bowlers, you have 4 decent bowlers in your team. They should be bowling the first 20 overs, 18 to 20 overs, and see how many wickets you can get during that time. But because you're bowling these bowlers up front, these lesser bowlers up front, the James who went for 19 from 2, Glasgow went for 20 from 2, Claxton went for 34 from 4. Look at the figures of Matthews, Fletcher, and Ramarak. 4.5, 5.3, 4.71. Alia Lane bowled 1 over for 9 runs and they took her off. They should not have taken her off, but you can understand if she's coming on to bowl the 96th over with one batswoman on 95 and the other on 66. With an old ball instead of the brand new ball. What do you think is going to happen? You know? So Grimman now, if I was coaching Grimman, and the other thing I must say this because I don't know the young lady, and that's why I always tell you that you can't have a personal opinion about someone if you don't know them. If I was coaching Grimman and she was prepared to listen to me and complete the drills that I gave her in the time that I gave her, because the time is also important, she could be a world-class batswoman today. And I'm disappointed with those persons who know her, who's around her. And you can't know because you can't blame them because you don't know what type of person Grimman really is. And that's why I say if she's completing the drills that I gave her in the time allotted, she would be a world-class batswoman today. I can make Grimman into a world-class batswoman. I have no doubt in my mind. Are these the best bowlers to represent the West Indies in your opinion? Yes, Banana Brooks, if you really follow the women cricket, you'll realize that, as I said, Ashley Fletcher, she probably have more wickets than any other bowler in women cricket for the last 18 months or so. Even if she doesn't as the most, she's very close to the top, Ashley Fletcher. She probably gone about 40 odd wickets now in women cricket over the last 18 months. If you look at Ramarak, I consider Ramarak to be the best off spinner in the world cricket. Alea Lane is a decent seamer, and I don't have to say anything about Ailey Matthews. So those are 4 very good bowlers. And when Chinel Henry can bowl, we have 5 very good bowlers. Those are decent bowlers who can probably even make your team England. Those are decent bowlers. But the thing that we keep on doing, we keep on giving up those first 8, 10 overs with our part-timers. So when our better bowlers comes on, when our better bowlers comes on, the batsmen are already set. Richard Johnson say, I agree with you, Mr. Brown. No frontline bowler up front. Yes. Good day, Jamor Small. Yes, South Africa are in a very good position, but West Indies is storming back. Sheldon is saying that your best player does not have to be captain. I agree with that, Sheldon. I agree with that, Sheldon, that the best player doesn't have to be captain. In this scenario, though, Sheldon, and we all, well, let's say all, but we are aware of the circumstances of Matthews was elevated to the captaincy. Do you think that if Matthews is not captain, she's going to play? West Indies team need a good common sense by captain and coach, said Roddy Johnson. Richard Johnson. Roddy Clay, I don't know. Cricket Forum, I was monitoring the bowling this morning. Why they didn't bowl with senior bowlers, with the newbies bowlers? Jamal Small, as Roddy Clay said, that this is something that I've been preaching for years. And I don't know, because I've been preaching it and Shane Diaz won't come here. And when I asked the director of cricket, he said that they have all the confidence in Shane Diaz because Diaz is delivering on their objectives. So I don't know. Well, Roddy Clay, I never get that because you say come on at the end, and it's communication, because you said come on at the end. I interpreted the come on as you can shut up now, Mr. Brown. You don't need to say it anymore. You can shut up now. So I interpreted the come on that way. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I interpreted the come on that way. Guess what, Mr. Brown, you have been preaching this for so long now. Come on. I interpret that you're saying, shut up. That come on at the end. That's how I interpreted. That's why I reacted that way. So I hope you understand the point that I'm making. Yeah. My apology to Roddy Clay for interpreting that way. But my apology, I know hard feelings because I'm quick to apologize. But when it's just that the come on, the come on tickle me. So that, and I hope you understand, As I explained, when I saw the command, it means shut up now, man. You talk about that topic enough. But we are good, Roddy Clay. We are good, man. Respect every time, boss. Respect. Richard Johnson said, your better bowlers must open the bowling. Absolutely. I have no problem with that. So Grantley Griffin here now is saying that coaches don't make cricketers. Everybody have an opinion. Everybody have an opinion, and you need to respect everyone's opinion. But some opinions are just Let me not say it. Let me ask Grantley Griffin, though. Tell me, Grantley Griffin, 3 responsibilities of the coach. And in those 3 responsibilities of the coach, tell me is number 1 responsibility. Walter Henry, I'm watching it on ESPN Caribbean. ESPN Caribbean. But the rain is falling now. Jamo Sumal is saying, the coach needs to go back to Australia. Our team having shown me no improvement with the team. The team was much better before he came. Yes, I agree. 77 said radically. So rain is falling. Rain is falling. Rain is falling. I think some vitality blast is going on, isn't it so? No vitality blast going on, but rain is falling. I'm going to go through your comments and if there's no play by the end of I going through your comment, I will take a break. That thing should have been tried. If you're going to demote Taylor, she did not take it well, said Sheldon Smith. Well, we know the story. So thank you, Roddy Clay. One love, man. Roddy Clay said, keep on saying it, and I'm with you 100%. Thank you very much. Thank you, Athena. Yes, please hit that like button. Ashik Mohammed is saying, legendary Athena. Good afternoon. Who won this second ODI? South Africa. So the series is tied 1-1. So Walter Henry. And rain was falling this morning while we had a late start. What I can tell you, though, that I will be back with you for the West Indies innings. I'll join you for the West Indies innings if we should get any further play today. I don't think I'll come back for the South African innings, but I'll join you for the West Indies innings. Take care of yourself, Roddy Clay. Respect, man, and look forward to see you later. Have a good afternoon, everyone.